as we know, touch, taste, smell. That's men. We always have to have a huge exercise in here somewhere. Very important for attraction, of course. Hearing, and of course the one that we are most dependent on, sight. And as you can see, her eyes come in a phenomenal range of different appearances, and they're very emotive stimuli for us as they are for other species that can see. Of course, there are other senses. I'm not going to cover all of them. We'd be here for several hours. But there's balance, of course, which is absolutely essential for us and all animals. One that I will cover is the ability to sense magnetic fields. One that I won't in this particular lecture, because it's fairly esoteric, is the ability of some electric fish and sharks, for example, to self-generate electric fields which allow them to be able to detect other objects or animals coming in to that field by the disturbance that it causes. But it's not something you see in land mammals. And by a sonar, you can hear a background there, insect between bats, and also a lot of cetaceans like whales and dolphins used by a sonar to localize things. And of course, although I really won't spend an awful lot of time on it, one can't really ignore the fact that there's a huge amount of effort designed at trying to understand whether there are extrasensory, if you like, perceptions, telepathy. And it's often been claimed, for example, that these are much more prevalent abilities of animals to communicate with one another by telepathy or psychic energies because they're closer to nature than our good selves. The argument is that we've actually lost that ability through losing our contact with nature. And just to sort of put the whole thing in context as far as other animal species are concerned, there are some fantastic claims about what animals can do, and I'm only going to scratch on some of them here. But what I'm really trying to do is to give you some examples where I hope the rest of the lecture, by showing you the different sensory abilities that animals have, that some of these things can be simply explained by these different sensory abilities rather than some kind of supernatural ability that animals may have. And this is probably not one of them, I hasten to say, right from the beginning. There's a huge amount of work, if you read the book by Rupert Sheldrake that I've recommended, showing particularly dogs but also cats appear to have the ability to know when their owners just literally form an intention to come home, not that they're coming in the garden gate or something like that. And they can be hundreds or